I'm here with what's your name?
Kazimbe.
Kazimbe.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. And we're here in Thailand, yes?
Yes.
All right. How's it been traveling as a black man? What's have your experience been traveling Thailand as a black man?
Oh, hey, man. Honestly, I came from America, so, and I've been here since 2007, first time. And out of all that time, I've had 2 racial incidents the whole time where you felt, someone was being a racist. So just with that alone, okay, it's been amazing. And when the policemen, they stop you, they don't get out telling you to get up against the car. It's like smiling, sir, smile, da, da, da. So it's been really cool that way, for one. And, I've traveled all over Southeast Asia, Laos, Cambodia, you name it. It's been an experience, and it's been good. Sometimes you get more friction from other black folks than you do Asians. Especially like when I got here years ago, it was hardly any black people. If you run into a black man, you'd be like, whoa, hey, bro. And it was crazy because my daughter, she just came and she's from Oakland, And so we were like, she's like, Dad, why come the black people don't speak to you here? And I was like, and I said, after a while, you stop speaking because, it's almost like they're afraid or don't want to or not sure. And they don't know if you're a black American necessarily. So I don't really float. But yeah, I think sometimes in that regard, sometimes black people seem a little uncomfortable, nervous sometimes with speaking. So, but here in terms of the people in Thailand, it's been way cool. In terms of relationship with other Thai people, you learn the language a little bit and you can speak a few words, man, they love you, and food is cheap. But as a person of color, I find that it's cool. Every now and then I tell you, I get more kind of crazy looks from Americans or European whites looking at you like they're so surprised or whatever it is, or they don't see enough of us or whatever. But from that Thai people, no, it's been real cool.
Okay, it's interesting. From the black people you see traveling in Asia, do you ever run into any Pan-Africanists? Do you ever run into like any black people that are like really knowledgeable on their roots or anything like that?
Every now and then I've ran into a few brothers from Ghana, and we start to talk, and there's that sense that there's that sense of oneness. I ran into a lady the other night from what was she from? Cameroon, and she was talking to me, and we start talking about part of the problem is a lot of them speak French. And you speak English, and even you're black as we, you look the same, but you can't communicate. I found that that's been a big issue. I have a French buddy, he's from Paris, but it's a different, what I find is like we talk about that he said when he goes back to Africa, the same with me, he go back to Africa, it's like they don't, you're not like it's 100% welcome.
Yeah.
So the Pan-African thing is very difficult, but and they're also different than many North Americans. Different meaning that, we're a bit more boisterous and outgoing. Many of the Africans I meet here, met throughout the places, they're a bit more conservative, a bit more chill. So yeah, but outright Pan-Africanism, not necessarily. Now. One last thing I would say about that. I was in Sri Lanka, talking about travel. So I was in Sri Lanka for 2.5 years during COVID. And what I found there was a kind of a lack of that connection to, that whole Pan-African or anything African, And, so I think colonization had played a role in a lot of that, So yeah, to answer your question, not often. But then sometimes you go somewhere with your consciousness, like Sri Lanka, and you're surprised at the lack of that, consciousness.
Yes, 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 yes. Because you'd expect it more there. Huh?
Yeah. But no, I don't. It's not there.
Okay, okay. What has it been? What has it been like dating in Asia as opposed to the West?
Dating? Well, I think many of us here, when I first got here, I didn't want to bother with any women from, no white women, no Europeans, no American. And so I dated Thai women for like 5 years. So, and that was cool, but it's different. Okay, but it was easy because you can be very straightforward and direct about what you want and about what kind of relationship you want. Versus in the West, of course, it's already some established protocol, But here, you could kind of be like, no, I don't want to do that. No, da 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 da. So, yeah, I actually liked it. And so I didn't date Europeans or any Americans for about 5 years. And I liked it because it's a different protocol.
Okay.
So, yeah, I found that to be.
Okay.
But not very many African women. It's almost so few.
Yes.
So few women of color here. My daughter was just complaining today. She said, "Dad, it's so white here." so so I think that's been a getting used to, because towns like this, especially in northern Thailand, I don't know if you've been down south, but northern Thailand, it's not very many people of color. And the tourists that come, if you look around, you see there's probably 80% white to 90. So that it's difficult to meet, I would say, date a person of color here. You're likely going to be dating a white person, a European or a white American.
So do you think it's possible? Do you think it's possible to feel lonely here? As a foreigner or as a traveler, especially in the dating scene.
Oh, definitely. If you don't have to, but if you're not into multicultural, diverse relationships, you probably are going to be lonely. If you come here, you can get out of the box of dating your own race, if you're a black man. But I think if you're open to diversity, there's plenty of opportunities, especially, if you're a young man in your 20s, 30s, you look around, they're everywhere. But I think, definitely you could be lonely very easily if you're not into a diverse relationship. So, yes, definitely. But there's lots to do. There's a lot of things to do and lots of places to go and meet a lot of people.
Right.
So it's a choice you would probably be making.
Right.
So to answer your question.
What would you say is the similarities between Thai women and African women or black women? Not black Americans, but African women and Thai women, because you said they're both conservatives. So are there any similarities between the two?
That's a good one. I would say similarities would be jealous and very possessive. Thai women can be very possessive and possessive to the point of getting very angry. And you have to kind of watch yourself a little bit with that one. At first they call you a butterfly, and, you do the la 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 la. That would be one, and of course, they like the money. You like the money. They like the money. So, you meet a Thai woman, she wants to be taken out to dinner and then food, and same shit.
Yeah.
So I would say that's a similarity, and also the jealousy, the kind of possession thing. You're mine. You can't. And that's what I meant about protocol. That's what I meant about protocol. that you can establish your own protocol. Like, look, that's not our relationship, and I like that. You know, you can say, no, I'm going to be open to date whoever I want as long as you know that. Blah blah blah. blah.
Okay. Last question. What is any advice that you could give the West about the war between man and woman? How could we? What's your opinion on that? And then how could we solve that issue?
That's a good one. Yeah, I think the biggest problem with men and women, you know, over the years, man, and I've been in a bunch of relationships, so I'm probably not the best expert. I'm probably an expert from having had so many relationships, but not about. So I think a big problem is communication. You know, it's a communication issue. It is very well known that you either, if you communicate well, it's good. If you have good sex, good. And if you got money, you know, and not have poverty issues, that's always good. But if you have all three, if you don't have any of that, you don't have money, you don't have good sex, and you don't have, you know, none of them exist, then that's a terrible connection. But I think if you can have like one or two of those and make them happen, even if you got like good conversation, you communicate well, you know, the sex don't have to be number one, slam bam, but you know, if you communicate, it's very important. So I think a place to start is, you know, and I think for young people, man, and you know, we all screwed up. You know, we go with what they look like. You know, for men, you know, we often looking at, oh man, she's got a nice body. No, you better see if she got a nice mind. You know, you got to see what she think like. You know, and I always say to my two sons, and you know, give it 5 years before you go talk about putting something on the finger. You hear me?
Truly get to know them.
Give it some time, man. You know, and also if you can, even on the sexual thing, give it some time before you go banging, because once you start that mental, emotional stuff with women, they bypass. You know, so I think one of my recommendations, you know, go slow, man. You know, I think that's a big problem. You know, so yeah,
Turtle wins the race every time.
Huh?
The turtle wins the race.
The turtle wins the race, and also just like don't think with the little head. You know, be like smart about things. You know, and but it's hard for young men. You know, my sons, myself, and everybody I know, man. We think too often with the, you know, oh, she's beautiful, she's fine. No, but she don't have a dime. She's fine, but she don't have a dime. So I would say best if possible to take your time, man. I think that would be my answer. You know, and try to make sure you got some of those things of communication, you know, good sex or something. But even then, roll slow, man.
Okay.
You know.
All right, man. I don't want to keep you away from your family.
No, man, I'm good, but that's good.
I appreciate